Hello, my name is Malachi, and this is my Pop Doodlecast. Pop Quiz Doodlecast. What is mitosis, you may ask? Mitosis is when there's a cell, and this is known as interphase. Then the chromosomes come out and scatter around the cell. Which is this process is known as prophase. The next process is metaphase, when all the chromosomes are lined up in the middle of the cell. Phase is anaphase, when the sister chromosomes split and go towards the ends of the cell. The next phase is known as telophase. So, that is when the sister chromosomes are at the ends of the cell, about to split the cell in two, known as telophase, which I probably said. The final and last stage is known as cytokinesis. Is when the cell is split in two and it has the chromosome DNA inside of it. This makes a lot of sense. So now we're going to go to meiosis. So, meiosis, all you do is go through the same process as mitosis, if you remember, but this time there is still interphase, but in meiosis, it's not one cell scattered all around. Well, it is scattered all around, known as prophase 1. Prophase 1. But this time, in metaphase, this is known as metaphase 1, where the two chromosomes are standing next to each other. This time. Known as metaphase 1. So now, when the chromosomes split, it's not sister chromosomes. It's the homologous chromosomes that goes towards the end of the cell. That goes towards the end of the cell, known as anaphase 1. And cytokinesis, and this time in cytokinesis 1. Telophase 1. The homologous chromosomes are at the ends of the cell, about to split it in two. The last phase is cytokinesis, when the homologous chromosomes in the spindle fiber split the cell in two. But it doesn't end here. So all you basically do is go through the same process again, but with two separate cells, with 1/4 of DNA in 4 cells. So here's the process. Now, in prophase 2, the two cells, as you remember, are scattered, known as prophase 2. The homologous chromosomes inside. What? The next phase is metaphase 2, when the homologous chromosomes are in a line in the middle of the cell. In anaphase 2, the cell, this time the sister chromosomes go towards the ends of the cell. Go towards the ends of the cell, not at the end yet, but towards the ends of the cell. In telophase, they're already at the end of the cell, about to split it in two. This cycle is still happening in both cells, kind of like mitosis. And the last one is cytokinesis 2. Well, now there are 4 different cells, each one with sister chromosomes inside. And that ends mitosis. Now, this is how you reproduce via mitosis. And is mitosis asexual or sexual? And is meiosis asexual or sexual? Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is asexual reproduction and what is sexual reproduction? Well, in sexual reproduction, you have 9 identical, like how they compare each other's cell is non-identical. Some examples of sexual reproduction animals are frogs, turtles, and most plants. And meiosis plus fertilization. So in meiosis, it performs sexual reproduction with fertilization. In mitosis, however, it produces asexual reproduction, which shows identical parents. Some examples are bacteria, starfish, bacteria, I don't know how to really draw bacteria, strawberries, and a specific lizard. The good thing about them is they don't need to find a mate, not requiring as much energy, but there's only a small population from asexual reproduction. However, in meiosis, which is sexual reproduction with fertilization, it allows you to adapt and evolve. And it helps in like a busy environment. So you're wondering, what are some environments that will probably help in sexual or asexual? I will start with asexual. So in asexual environments, some places where you can do asexual environments are when there's like a small population. So small population, not requiring, doesn't need to find a mate, need to find a mate, but sometimes some animals cannot survive in a harsh environment, such as cold weather. Cold weather, where most animals will not survive, so it's more asexual. Or when it's rain, a lot of rain. Some animals don't like a lot of rain. So that's when asexual happens. Usually in bad conditions where no animals can live. Also pollution, which is happening a lot around the world. Some environmental advantages for sexual are if there's like a huge population of other animals and animals like you, so you can adapt. You can adapt to those animals, and you can find a mate still, since there's more animals living in your area. Also, for asexual, sometimes it can be in the desert too, and the conditions are pretty constant, so it doesn't change a lot. So you probably don't want to be asexual, and you probably want to be more sexual. Well, either one is good, but you cannot choose if you want to reproduce sexually or asexually in real life. So now, two other examples of why some other advantages for each form of reproduction, asexual or sexual. In sexual reproduction, there's other animals, so you can adapt, variation, and like you have a huge population of animals living around you instead of living in a lonely desert or whatever. So pretty warm conditions, nice conditions, like the sun is bright. Some animals like the sun. So pretty good conditions where you'll find you can do sexual reproduction, but you have non-identical parents and you're going to go through meiosis. It's really hard to think of some advantages for asexual reproduction, but at least in asexual, you don't need to find a mate a lot. You don't need to find a mate at all, and you have identical parents. So that's only two I can think of for asexual reproduction. Because asexual reproduction lives in super hot climates where most animals cannot live. That's kind of hard. So saying you can't move, but you don't need to find a mate. That's kind of hard if you think about it. I kind of said in a previous video, some species that produce sexual reproductions are turtles. Yes, this is a bad shape of a turtle. I cannot draw. And I bet you can't either. Turtles reproduce sexually. And mostly all animals, including frogs. Frogs, and most surprisingly, most plants. Some animals that reproduce asexually or plants are strawberries, starfish, bacteria, really small. So basically where no one else can live and you don't need to find a mate. And specific lizards, like desert foot-tailed lizards, I think. So this ends my pop doodle quiz on cell division and reproduction. Yay! Bye-bye.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.